Hello, this is YouTube channel Israel Reclaiming the Birthright, and this is lesson number 17. I want to talk a little bit about the Donald Trump Kamela Harris debate last night. I want to preface it with an introduction to the world of illusion. Some people call it Maya. Some people call it Olam HaSheker. Some people call it the world of the big lie. So what we know is that there is a reality, and it's formed by conditioning, and there's also truth. Now, the purpose of the Jewish people is to create the wedding of heaven and earth, of truth and reality. In other words, to imbue our souls with the truth, to function from that love of God with all our heart, soul, and might, and to create heaven on earth. Anyway, so back to the debate. One of the studies that I've been involved in was and I'm still involved in it because you can't escape this, is the psychology of archetypes. It was brought to the United States by expatriates after the Second World War, and the proponent of it was a philosopher named Gurdjieff. And by the early 50s, there was a Gurdjieff Center in most American cities. And this psychology of archetypes, Gurdjieff thought, originated with the Sarmung monks of Tibet. When I started studying Samson Raphael Hirsch's commentaries on the Bible, I saw pretty soon that they really originated, the archetypes originated in Parshat Noach. But that's another ballgame. Anyway, so what I saw in Donald Trump, after the weathering of what he was put through, which the man did not need to have a quality of life which was the envy of any monarch in the world, was something that brought out the heart in his martial soul. He was a Donald Trump that evinced heart, and it was inescapable to me. I don't know if most of you saw it or didn't see it. Contrast that with Kamala Harris's charade. It was pure playing. It was the Hollywood myth of caring and concern and valuing things that are something people die for, like democracy and the Constitution. It was totally phony. And the big question that must be asked is, if she promises all these lovely things that press every liberal button and the desires of normal people, what was she doing for the past 3.5 years, for crying out loud? They brought the world to the brink of World War III, and they brought the world from Jimmy Carter, with a little gap with Ronald Reagan, the Clintons, the Carters, the Bushes, the Obamas, to where the people of Israel were going to have to suffer another Holocaust that they didn't quite manage in the Second World War because Rommel was stopped at El Alamein. Otherwise, the Holocaust would have continued in Israel. So, let's take a look at what really happened during the 3.5 years that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden didn't do what Kamala Harris says they're going to do now. We have Israel threatened existentially. We have Europe threatened with a world war, possibly nuclear. One of the questions that Donald Trump was asked was, does he favor Ukraine winning the war? Well, listen, truthfully, if Ukraine wins the war, it's because America and Russia and China and the whole free world are in a nuclear war. Because Ukraine can't win against Russia. So forget about it. But if you want a eugenics campaign, if you want to reduce world population seriously, like the Georgia Guidestones indicate, then go ahead and let Ukraine win, because the win is going to be more than Pyrrhic. Now take a look at Donald Trump. Donald Trump, with that demeanor that he showed on his face, going from incredulity at what this woman is saying, to the pain of looking at what is actually the reality and the lack of truth in what this woman is responsible for with Joe Biden, to the bursts of energy that this man amazingly is infused with, including the desire, the patriotic desire, the heartfelt divine desire to make this country and the world a better place for everyone. And he tried his hard to do it. He was deceived. He was stymied. And this man still gets up in the morning and he doesn't quit. If anyone does not see this, then they're a product of Hollywood. We have Alice in Wonderland, we have Superman, we have Batman, we have all the mythologies you want. We have the medical system that you can thank Rockefeller for. And we have a world in chaos. So I want to propose a solution. I don't know that Donald Trump will enter the White House. I believe he'll win the election like he did last time. But I want to say this to the people that are really controlling the world, as Bob Dylan knew when he sang the song. The world is not ruled by democracy. And he said the words and ended it with, but that's better left unsaid. Anyway, the bottom line is, God is in charge of the world, and although people try to put obstacles in God's path to prevent the world of brotherhood, the universal, wonderful, divinely inspired and infused world of truth and reality, the utopian socialist dream, but without the socialism, with free enterprise, but with capitalism infused with brotherhood, so that the largesse and the magnanimity and the grace of mankind coming through him from his Creator will create a free society with free enterprise on a much higher level. So what I want to say to all the people in charge of the world, from the Vladimir Putins, to the Jin Xiaoping, to Kim Jong-un, to the Rockefellers and Morgans and Mellons and Harrimans and Fords and Bushes, to all the people in Europe that are controlling the world, to the Club of Rome, to the Trilateral Commission, to the World Economic Forum, to all the puppets and the puppeteers. The fact is that God does not enjoy the death of evil people. He wants the evil put away, but he allows us all to repent. And of course that includes the rabbis who made their own mythologies. I mean, on Passover, for example, we sing a song called Dayenu. If God just did this little thing, it would have been enough. Well, listen, the truth is God did everything and it was never enough and it's still not enough. And these rabbis invented a religion based on a diet that God eschews. And they based their religion on things that are forbidden. And no amount of suffering that Jews had to endure because of their leadership, which we're warned about in the Bible, made them review what they were doing and change their trajectory towards hell. So we're all guilty. We're all flawed. But we can all return to God. And I hope we all do. And I hope all of us vote for Donald Trump, because it will be a blessing for the entire world. We don't need to fight each other to death to have our quality of life. We can get up in the morning in a world where we don't need our guns, though we can have them. There are certain tools people have to have that we don't want to use, like a snowblower. Anyway, I think I've made the message. I tried to keep it short. Let's try to let our hearts be imbued by the desires of our Creator. Because if He's happy, if God is happy, then the world is going to have a completely different face. And everything will be beautiful for everybody. Anyway, have a good day.